Welcome to Central Mass Flag Official Playing Rules for the 2025 season.
At the start of each game, captains from both teams meet at midfield for rock, paper, scissors to determine who starts with the ball. The visiting team calls the toss. The winner of the coin toss has the choice of offense or defense. The loser of the coin toss has the choice of direction. There is no option to defer. Teams will automatically switch sides of the field, and the team that started the game with possession will begin the second half on defense. The offensive team takes possession of the ball at its 5-yard line and has 4 downs to cross midfield.
Ho, 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 you need to know. The offensive team takes possession of the ball at its 5-yard line and has 4 downs to cross midfield. Once a team crosses midfield, it only has 3 downs, not 4, to score a touchdown. Back to you, Duran.
If the offensive team fails to cross midfield after 3rd down and elect to punt on 4th down, possession of the ball changes and the opposing team will start a new possession from its own 5-yard line. If the offensive team goes for it on 4th down and does not cross midfield, the opposing team will start a new possession from the spot where 4th down ended. Anytime there is a punt or play decision on 4th down, the referee will ask the offense's head coach to declare punt or play. The coach must make an immediate decision or risk a delay of game penalty.
Ho, 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 you need to know. After crossing midfield, if the offense fails to score on 3rd down, the ball changes possession and the new offensive team starts at its 5-yard line. Aiden, buddy, why don't you tell us a little bit about the equipment? Aiden?
Thanks, Santa. Equipment checklist. Players' jerseys must be tucked into shorts or pants if they hang below the belt line. You must use the age-appropriate NFL footballs that will be provided. Santa, do you want to tell them about the flags?
Oh, Aiden, you've been such a good boy this year. Wait until you see what I've got for you. Ho, 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 you need to know. All players must wear either official NFL flag belts and flags or the youth shrooms indicated by having white poppers and the word shrooms embossed on them. No other belts or poppers are allowed. Not only will you not be eligible to play if you try to use a different brand of flags, but you will get nothing in your stocking next time I make my visit. Anything else, Aiden?
Yes. Thank you, Santa. Keep in mind that teams not prepared to play at game time due to equipment compliance issues will have their team timeouts used, up to 3, to become compliant. All players will be checked at the beginning of the game by the refs in an attempt to address possible compliance issues prior to the game starting. This is a courtesy done by the refs. This does not mean that if they become non-compliant later or if a ref missed something, that the game will not be stopped to address issues. It is your obligation to ensure all your players are compliant prior to stepping on the field.
Great job, Aiden. Joel, you're up.
We play on a field that is 25 yards wide, 53.3 yards long, and 10-yard end zones. We have a midfield line to gain for 1st down. No run zones are located 5 yards prior to midfield and 5 yards prior to the opponent's end zone. No run zones are in place to prevent teams from conducting run plays. While in the no-run zone, teams cannot run the ball across the line of scrimmage.
Joel, it looks like you fell into a well. Now all you need to do is get kicked in the head by a mule. That's your obscure reference of the day. If you get it, you get it. If not, then let's continue. Ho, 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 you need to know. The 6U age divisions do not have no-run zones. The 6U division can run or pass anywhere on the field, including going to extra points. Joel, please continue.
Yup, I got the reference, Santa. Not funny. All plays must result in a forward pass across the line of scrimmage. The referee will spot the ball in the middle of the field prior to the ready-to-play whistle. The ball may not be closer than 10 yards to any sideline. Santa, do you want to tell them anything about the boundary line?
Sorry about that, Joel. You know I just can't get enough of Cousin Eddie. Ho, 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 you need to know. Stepping on the boundary line is considered out of bounds. Mariana, why don't you tell these wonderful people about timing and overtime?
Sure thing, Santa. At Central Mass Flag Worcester, we use the NFL flag tournament timing of games. This means we have 2 12-minute halves, a 2-minute halftime, and 3 1-minute timeouts per game. Once the ball is spotted, a team will have 40 seconds to snap the ball. The offense has no obligation to wait for the defense to be ready prior to the snap. Regular season games do not have mercy rules or any overtimes. Santa, do you have anything to add?
No, Mariana, you're doing splendidly. Please continue.
Thank you, Santa. Let's talk about scoring. Touchdowns are worth 6 points. Points after touchdowns or extra points can be 1 point from the 5-yard line or 2 points from the 10-yard line. A safety is 2 points. A safety occurs when the ball carrier is declared down in their own end zone. Runners can be called down when their flags are pulled by a defensive player, a flag falls out, they step out of bounds, their knee or arm touches the ground, a fumble occurs in the end zone, or if a snapped ball lands in or beyond the end zone. A team that scores a touchdown must declare whether it wishes to attempt a 1-point conversion from the 5-yard line or a 2-point conversion from the 10-yard line. Any change once a decision is made to try for the extra point requires a charged timeout. A decision cannot be changed after a penalty. The coaches, officials, and scorekeeper must verify the score sheet. If a coach does not verify the score sheet before leaving the field, the scorekeeper will note on that score sheet and the score will be final. How did I do, Santa?
Oh, Mariana, you were perfect. Thank you. Now, how about we hand it over to Brody to tell us about the coaching guidelines?
Thanks, Santa. Coaches are permitted to coach on the sidelines. 6U can have an offensive and defensive coach on the field during the game. All other age divisions can only have an offensive coach on the field. There are only allowed 2 coaches on the sidelines. And all coaches must have a lanyard. No sidelines, no exceptions. Coaches are responsible for their fans' conduct and behavior, plus any other associated team members in their designated team area. What's on your mind, Santa?
Brody! Oh boy! You sound like you just got dumped and your dog told you he's disappointed in you. You can't let this thing with Brittany knock you down like that, man. She was cute, but she also thought horoscopes were science. Let's keep perspective. I got 3 words for you, Brody. Joe. Rogan. Experience. Yeah, that's right. Welcome to the alpha male renaissance. And here's 3 more words. Kale shakes. Ice baths. Jiu-jitsu. Time to get back out there and do something manly, like punch a tree or start a podcast no one listens to, whatever it takes. But you gotta move, Brody. Here, let me introduce you to Layla. Layla, can you tell us about live ball and dead ball regulations?
Sure thing. The ball is live at the snap of the ball and remains live until the official whistles the ball dead. The official will indicate the neutral zone and line of scrimmage. It is an automatic dead ball foul if any player on defense or offense enters the neutral zone. The game officials may give teams a courtesy neutral zone notification to allow their players to move back behind the line of scrimmage. Should I keep going, Santa?
Amazing! Go on, go on!
A player who gains possession of the ball in the air is considered in bounds, as long as the first foot or a body part other than the hand contacts the ground in the field while maintaining possession. Substitutions may be made during any dead ball period. The defense may not simulate the offensive team signals by trying to confuse the offensive players while the quarterback is calling out signals to start the play. This will result in an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Fabulous work, Layla. I see our head ref Wyatt is here. Can you tell us a thing or two?
Sure thing, Santa. Any official can whistle the play dead. Here are a few reasons why a ref might blow a whistle and call the play dead. If the ball hits the ground. If the ball hits the ground as a result of a snap, backwards pitch, the ball will be placed where the ball hit the ground. Other reasons could be if the ball carrier's flag is pulled, if the ball carrier steps out of bounds, if a touchdown, extra point, or safety is scored, if the ball carrier's knee, shin, leg, forearm, or arm hits the ground, the ball carrier's flag falls out, the receiver catches the ball while in possession of 1 or 0 flags, if the 7-second pass clock expires, a ball carrier leaves their feet to dive, jump, or hurdle a player. Exception: a player can dive to catch a pass or pull a flag.
Tell us about fumbles and loss of possession.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Fumbles, loss of possession. Ground contact must be made for the play to be dead at that spot. A fumble is loss of possession by a player, resulting in the ball contacting the ground. If an inadvertent whistle occurs, the team in possession has 2 options. They can take the ball where the whistle blew and the down will count. Or they can opt to replay the down from the original line of scrimmage. If an inadvertent whistle occurs on the last play of the half or game, the offense will be awarded one untimed down and given those same two options. A team is allowed to use a timeout to question an official's rule interpretation. If the official's ruling is correct, the team will be charged a timeout. If the rule is interpreted incorrectly, the timeout will not be charged and the proper ruling will be enforced.
Chad, is that you, buddy? Are you outside again? Wait, hold on. Is that the courtyard wall? Are you supposed to be out there? Does your mother know you're outside the ward again? Okay, just gonna text her real quick before she panics and calls the North Pole Crisis Team again. All right, Chad, while I do that, why don't you tell us about the running game, huh? You love the running game. You talk about it like it's a religion. Go ahead, tell the team. We're all ears.
Things you need to know about running. The ball is spotted where the ball is when the flag is pulled. The quarterback cannot directly run with the ball across the line of scrimmage. Direct handoffs and pitches are permitted behind the line of scrimmage only. If this takes place after the ball carrier crosses the line of scrimmage, the play is to be blown dead by the official. The ball shall be placed at the spot possession was lost for the next play. What do you think, St. Mr. Claus Santa Nick?
Okay. So folks, just a quick update before we bring Chad back on. It seems Chad, after giving us his very spirited talk about the running game, took a little field trip down the hallway, and now he's apparently dressed like a construction worker, which I don't fully understand, but honestly, I've stopped asking questions. Let's all just remember, Chad's enthusiasm is a gift. It's like a very loud, very unpredictable gift with hard edges. Chad, do you remember what you asked for last year? You asked for a superhero costume. So, why don't you go back inside, head to your room, put on your cape, and then you can come back and teach us all about the center sneak and those glorious, glorious handoffs. Sound good, champ?
What do you think of my new room? They just took the padding out yesterday. Any player who receives a handoff or pitch can throw the ball from behind the line of scrimmage. Once the ball has been handed off, in front, behind, or to the side of the quarterback, or a pitch has occurred, the 7-second passing clock is eliminated, and all defensive players are eligible to rush.
Ho, 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 you need to know. At Central Mass Flag, Worcester, all passes that travel backwards must be underhand. All passes that travel forward must be overhand and cross the line of scrimmage. All right, super construction boy, that was something. So tell me, Chad, do you have any other costumes? Or, let's be honest, identities that are just waiting backstage in your head?
Yes. With one swift change of clothing, I am now Vern, the Roto-Rooter, Stanley Steamer, Marriott Hotel Maintenance Superhero Man. Hashtag, this is not an ad. Hashtag, but it could be. Definition of a legal handoff. Total loss of possession directly from one offensive player to another. Teams are not allowed to run in the no-run zones. Reminder, each offensive team approaches only 2 no-run zones in each drive. 1 5 yards from midfield to gain the first down and 1 5 yards from the goal line to score a touchdown. Runners are not permitted to jump, leap, or hurdle, in the official's judgment, while advancing the ball. The play is to be blown dead, and the ball spotted where the jump, leap, or hurdle occurred.
Well, Chad, Larry, Vern, whoever's driving the bus in there today, you never cease to amaze me. I don't know whether to be impressed or submit paperwork to have you gently sedated. All right, who's next? Holy Prancer? What in the peppermint-encrusted, cocoa-dusted hell am I looking at? Is this a filter? Is this one of those AI avatars? Did an elf get into my VPN again? I need eggnog, the strong kind, with warnings on the label.
Santa, my guy, breathe. This is not a crisis. This is evolution. Ball carriers may leave their feet, and the play will continue for spinning, jump cuts, QBs passing, or if there is a clear indication that he or she has done so to avoid a collision with another player. The play will continue without stoppage. However, if while leaving the ground, illegal contact is made, a penalty may be enforced by the official. No blocking or screening is allowed at any time. Offensive players in close proximity of the ball carrier must stop their motion once the ball has crossed the line of scrimmage. No running with the ball carrier. Flag obstruction. All jerseys must be tucked in before play begins. The flags must be on the player's hips and free from obstruction. Deliberately obstructed flags will be considered flag guarding. Once the ball is advanced beyond the line of scrimmage, the current ball carrier is the only player allowed to have possession of the ball until the play is dead. Santa, you always said we could be whatever we wanted at the North Pole. That magic was real. That we weren't just reindeer. We were possibility with hooves. Well, guess what? This is my magic, Santa. This is me.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Just needed a moment to recalibrate my entire concept of reality. Listen, Prancer, I support your neon journey through the soulscape, I really do. But you're still on sleigh duty next week. I don't care if your chakras are aligned with Jupiter and your antlers are solar-powered. Get your LED glowing techno-Bambi ass back in the harness. Kids still want toys. I still need airspace clearance. Let's go. Adam, help this old man out. I've seen elves spontaneously combust with less drama.
I got you, Santa. Passing. Only one forward pass, thrown from behind the line of scrimmage, is permitted each offensive play. The ball must be released prior to crossing the line of scrimmage.
Adam, have you been taking any, medication? Maybe something for your glaucoma?
Absolutely not, Santa. Like I was saying, there is no intentional grounding. The quarterback may throw the ball anywhere across the line of scrimmage to avoid a sack. All forward passes that do not cross the line of scrimmage are illegal forward passes unless touched by a defender. All forward passes must go beyond the line of scrimmage.
Adam, stop right there. I can smell it through the computer screen. The reindeer are squinting and asking if Snoop Dogg's on the call.
Santa, I gotta bounce, man. I got my Baja Blast Mountain Dew, a party-sized bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, and a nasty game of Fortnite waiting for me.
Sure thing, Adam. No worries, my man. You don't want to be AFK too long? Jerry? Oh, thank God. So nice to see you. Can you please bring this video back from looking like a canceled Netflix show Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill wrote on a 48-hour bender after leaving Burning Man?
I'm on it, Santa. Shovel passes are allowed and must be a forward pass from behind the line of scrimmage and received beyond the line of scrimmage. The quarterback has a 7-second pass clock. If a pass is not thrown within 7 seconds, the play is dead. The down counts and the ball is returned to the line of scrimmage. Once the ball is handed off, pitched or lateraled behind the line of scrimmage, the 7-second rule is no longer in effect. If the QB is standing in the end zone at the end of the 7-second clock, the ball is returned to the line of scrimmage and it will be the next down. If the quarterback throws the ball and then catches it, the play is dead and treated like an incomplete pass.
Who's next? Oh boy, I see your hand up, Jonas. Anyone else? Seriously? Anyone? Just when I thought the ship was righting itself? Okay, Jonas. I guess you can tell us about receiving. What do you know about receiving, Jonas?
Thanks, Santa. Well, I know quite a bit about receiving. All players are eligible to receive passes, including the quarterback if the ball has been handed off or pitched behind the line of scrimmage. A player must have at least one foot or other body part in bounds, contacting the ground first with possession. In the case of simultaneous possession by both an offensive and defensive player, possession is awarded to the offense. Interceptions are returnable. If returned for a score during regular gameplay, the score will be worth 6 points, 2 points if returned during conversions. I think that's probably all you need to know, but I could go on for days if you want, Santa.
Nope, that's quite all right, Jonas. I think you covered everything. Thank you. Who wants to explain rushing the passer? Oh, wow, hello, Ava. Finally, a face that doesn't make me question all my life choices.
Hi, Santa. Quick, before I forget. So, you know how you're supposed to check your list twice? Well, I said Lamborghini, not Linguini last year. So, anyway, let's talk about rushing the passer. All players who rush the passer must be a minimum of 7 yards from the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped.
Ho, 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 you need to know. Up to 2 players can rush the quarterback. Rushers must identify themselves by raising their hand before the snap. Rushers must rush the passer immediately after the snap. Ava, continue.
OMG. Rude. Delayed rush is not permitted. Players not rushing the quarterback can defend the line of scrimmage. A special marker, or the game official, will designate a rush line 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. Defensive players should verify they are in the correct position with the official on every play. A legal rush is any rush by the 1 or 2 designated rushers, who are 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. A rush from anywhere on the field after the ball has been handed off or pitched by the player receiving the snap. Do you want to hear about penalties?
Ava, did it bother you when I jumped in with something the coaches actually need to know? You understand that's one of the things I'm supposed to do during this video, right? Like, it's kind of the deal. I interrupt when there's actual information that needs to get shared.
Wow. Okay. Touchy. Whatevs. A penalty may be called under the following situations. The rusher leaves the rush line before the snap and crosses the line of scrimmage before a handoff, pitch, or pass. An illegal rush will result in a gain of 5 yards from the line of scrimmage and first down. Any defensive player crosses the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped is encroachment. This will also result in a gain of 5 yards from line of scrimmage and first down. Any defensive player not lined up at the rush line crosses the line of scrimmage before the ball is passed, pitched, or handed off is also an illegal rush, which, you guessed it, 5-yard gain from the line of scrimmage and first down. If the offense draws the identified rushers across the 7-yard marker prior to the snap of the ball, the rushers cannot legally rush. But remember, jumping the rush is not a penalty until the rusher crosses the line of scrimmage prior to a handoff, pitch, or pass. Teams are never required to rush the quarterback with the 7-second clock in effect.
Ava, as much as I like to watch and listen to you, mostly watch, that's some pretty crazy Black Mirror stuff going on behind you. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, like does Santa. It happens all the time. It's pretty normal for cars to move back and forth at incredibly low rates of speed. Geez, I hope this is better. Please allow me to continue. Players rushing the quarterback may attempt to block a pass. However, contact to the QB, unless ruled incidental by the official, would result in a roughing the passer penalty. The offense cannot impede the rusher's path to the quarterback, regardless of where they line up prior to the snap. The path is set pre-snap from the rusher or rushers directly to the quarterback. The path does not move once the quarterback moves. If the path or line is occupied by a moving offensive player, then it is the offense's responsibility to avoid the rusher. Any disruption to the rusher's path and/or contact will result in an impeding the rusher penalty. If the offensive player does not move after the snap, then it is the rusher's responsibility to go around the offensive player and avoid contact. A sack occurs if the quarterback's flags are pulled behind the line of scrimmage, and the ball will be spotted where possession of the ball is when the flag is pulled. A 2-point safety is awarded if a flag pull takes place in the offensive team's end zone. That's all I got, Santa. And just remember, Lamborghini. Lamborghini, not linguini this year, okay? Like, unless the linguini's wrapped around the keys.
Yes, of course, Ava. My deepest apologies. Lamborghini, got it. I'll run that by accounting and get back to you. Anywho, who would like to tell us about flag pulling? Tito, is that you? Shouldn't you be painting the garage?
Hi, Santa. I'm on my break. Ever since I got into the union, I get a 10-minute break every 2 hours. Just enough time to tell you about flag pulling. Flag pulling. A legal flag pull takes place when the ball carrier is in full possession of the ball. Defenders can dive to pull flags, but cannot tackle, hold, or run through the ball carrier when pulling flags. It is illegal to attempt to strip or pull the ball from the ball carrier's possession at any time. If a player's flag inadvertently falls off during a play while that player has possession, the player is down immediately and the play ends. The ball is placed where the flag lands. If a player who has one or no flags on their belt takes possession of the ball, The play is dead at that spot on the field. A defensive player may not intentionally pull the flag off a player who is not in possession of the ball. Flag guarding is an attempt by the ball carrier to obstruct the defender's access to the flags by stiff arming, dropping the head, hand, ball, arm, or shoulder, or intentionally covering the flags with the football jersey.
Time's up, Tito. Jeffrey said that you need to get back to work.
Jeffrey? I'm not sure who you mean. I don't know a Jeffrey.
I'm sorry. Ha ha ha. I forget who knows our little inside jokes. You've heard Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and blah 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 something something something. Well, the reindeer Donner, we call Jeffrey. Jeffrey Donner. Get it? Ha ha ha. It gets a laugh from all the elves, but he hates it.
Ah, I get it, Santa. That's a good one.
Well, hello there. Let's talk about formations and Sheila. Yeah, that feels appropriate. I mean, if anyone's going to teach us about structure, symmetry, and well-balanced lineups, it might as well be you.
Wait, oh, is that like a trick question? 'Cause I'm literally not doing riddles today, Santa. But okay. Formations. Offenses must have a minimum of 1 player on the line of scrimmage, the center, and up to 4 players on the line of scrimmage. The quarterback must be off the line of scrimmage. Movement simulating the snap by a player who is set is considered a false start. The center must snap the ball with a rapid and continuous motion between his or her legs to a player in the backfield, and the ball must completely leave his or her hands. Only 1 player is allowed in motion when the ball is snapped. The player must be in motion off the line of scrimmage. All motion must be parallel or backwards to the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped. Players may shift positions on offense at any time. All players must still reset for 1 second prior to the snap. That's what you need to know about formations. Back to you, Santa.
Wow. I really want to talk about formations again. But we've got a new HR department, and I've already had 2 strongly worded emails today. So I better move on before this Zoom gets subpoenaed. All right, next up we've got Orenthal, who'll be discussing unsportsmanlike conduct. Wait, Orenthal? Your full name's Orenthal? Okay, no reason to panic. It's probably just a coincidence. Totally common name in like one household in America. Anyway, please, go ahead, Orenthal. Let's talk about sportsmanship.
Santa, I'm probably too qualified to talk about unsportsmanlike conduct, if you know what I mean. If the field monitor or game officials witnesses any acts of intentional tackling, elbowing, cheap shots, blocking, or any unsportsmanlike act, the game will be stopped and the player will be ejected from the game. The decision is made at the game official's discretion. No appeals will be considered. Intentional physical play will not be permitted. Offensive or confrontational language is not allowed. Officials have the right to determine offensive language, so we're taught guy. If offensive or confrontational language occurs, the officials will penalize for unsportsmanlike conduct and determine if an ejection is warranted. So, players or coaches may not physically or verbally abuse any opponent, coach, or game official. Ball carriers must make an effort to avoid defenders with an established position. Defenders must give free releases off the line of scrimmage to offensive players and are not allowed to run through the ball carrier when pulling flags. Offensive players may not initiate contact at the line of scrimmage with defenders. Santa?
Well, Orenthal, that was a little long-winded. One more question. Are there any penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct?
Depends how good your lawyers are. Oh, you mean at Central Mass Flag Worcester? Yes, let me tell you about them. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. The defensive penalty is a gain of 10 yards from the dead ball spot and an automatic first down. The offensive penalty is a loss of 10 yards from the dead ball spot and a loss of down. EO. 2 unsportsmanlike penalties on any player or coach in a game result in a disqualification and may lead to additional discipline.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's all you need to know. If you need anything else, just give me a holler. I'll be upstairs, asleep, face down in a cookie tray. Have a great season, and thanks for joining us here at Central Mass Flag Worcester.